Hey guys, welcome to the Metal Lounge. I'm Forrest, this is Matt. We're here to chat shit and talk about metal. So yeah, download.
Big emphasis on chatting shit.
That's our main operation.
Yeah, chatting shit with like metal sprinkled in.
Yeah,
maybe
a sprinkling
a
of
rough
metal.
idea, so we don't completely embarrass ourselves. Just sat here drooling absolute nonsense. But yeah, no, download. I didn't go. You didn't go either, right?
I totally went. I totally could afford to go sleep in a field for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't go. Like, it looked. Well, I say I'm glad I didn't go. It looked horrific, but like, I'm sure it was fun for those.
The
that
weather
there.
was like this. They're probably enjoying it a lot
I mean,
better.
it's like what 25 degrees today, sunny. There it was like muddy, rainy, depression. But I guess that kind of fits the genre. So it's like not the
true.
worst.
It's more true to Download's lore. Like it's got like the black and white filter on.
Yeah, with the pouring rain.
Yeah.
Who even played this year? I don't even know who headlined.
I don't know either.
It's like the normal three. Probably Iron Maiden was one of them.
I'll try and block it out so I don't get too much FOMO.
Metallica.
yeah. I think Metallica played 2 sets.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's just greedy, really.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Make some room for the smaller guys.
The only thing I saw from Download, like the main thing for me, was that that viral picture of the Lost Prophets jacket.
Watkins, yeah.
I was like, man, who's in this day and age, who's like still repping the Lost Prophets?
He's got to know, right?
He's got to know. Imagine like someone tells him, it's like, yo, did you hear about what happened with Ian Watkins? He's like, what?
He's just like covering up his tattoos. Like
he's like, why didn't no one tell me? I've been bumping Last Train Home at work every day for the last 20 years.
I'd like to think it's that, but he probably just wants the attention. To be fair,
like trying to be like really edgy about it.
I reckon he got some questionable looks at minimum.
I feel like a lot of people go to those festivals like to like try and get attention. Like, do you remember? Do you ever go to Slam Dunk back when Aldi Sykes was about?
I knew you were going to bring that up. Yeah. What the fuck happened to that guy?
Like, who knows, man?
Do you reckon he's trying to like become an actual person?
Be someone else. He's going to be like Vessel from Sleep Token instead. Walk around with a mask. But like he used to like pretend, like not just like look like him, he used to pretend to be him. And this might just be rumors, but I remember back in the day it used to be like he would go around acting like that to talk to like girls and stuff like that. Maybe even like younger
vibes,
girls.
like
definitely, man.
There's got to be something wrong with you to like try and believe you're another person.
I
mean, it always like
fucking
cool. Like it'll be cool to be him, but not cool to actually try and copy him.
It's weird, man. And when he got that face tattoo, he got the same like feather tattoo.
Ollie Sykes should hire him, to be fair. He could make a good clone, or like if Ollie Sykes doesn't want to do something. Yeah, stunt double.
Yeah, but no, I remember there's a story. I can't remember if it was a friend who told me or I read on the internet, but apparently like he got a friend to like go around the crowd like yelling out like, oh, Ollie, like trying to make it out like that someone was trying to find Ollie Sykes and it was him.
It's fucking wingman.
Yeah, literally. Audience plant.
Can you call me Matt Nichols? But you look nothing like him. Yeah, it could work.
Yeah, you should try and do that with like another member, but like a way less known member.
Like Lee Malia.
Yeah. You should like cosplay as Lee. What's his last name? Malia.
Malia,
I didn't even know that.
You know, call yourself a fan.
Spanish.
Fake fan.
Lee Malia.
Lee Malia.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Italia.
I didn't go Download.
No, I haven't been in a long time actually. I've got a bit of trauma with Download actually. I wanted to bring up. Like every time I've gone to Download, like something's happened. Like the first time I went was in like 2011. Remember seeing System of a Down, and it wasn't that traumatic then. Like I was with my ex and like we were just arguing in the tent and I missed Linkin Park. But yeah, we're doing like upside down beer bongs, just like getting drunk. I remember we chilled out with this guy that were like played with Under Oath and we thought he was like the coolest guy ever, and looking back it was just some like washed up loser. But
when you say played with Under Oath, do you mean like he like supported them,
his band played his band supported Under Oath like back in the day.
Who they were?
I don't remember the name.
Some, like,
I probably shouldn't
from 10 years ago.
No, I think Josh would remember, to be fair.
Okay, yeah. No.
I mean my tall friend.
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
But yeah, cool. No, I remember I missed Linkin Park that year, and then a couple of years later I went to Download France.
Oh yeah.
And I went to get the Eurostar, and I didn't pack my passport, so I'm just getting on a train. Like
Idiot,
I don't need a passport.
Idiot.
I remember the fucking like my heart was just pumping when like I was at the gates, the Eurostar, and they were like passport. And my heart just sunk. I was like, I just knew I hadn't packed it, and I still went through my bag through the whole rigmarole to be like, Yeah.
For context, for those who don't know what the Eurostar is, it's like a train from London that goes to Paris. Yeah. And we both live in Brighton. Well, you were in Brighton at the time, weren't you? Or were you somewhere else?
I think it was before I moved to Brighton.
You sure?
Yeah, because I called my mum straight away.
Did you?
Which isn't something I've done very often in Brighton since last week. Mum.
They won't let me go to France, Mum. but yeah,
so I miss Linkin Park again. So it's like my cursed festival. So I'm like, if I go again, am I going to miss Linkin Park again?
Don't bring your girlfriend or a passport.
Yeah.
Or don't go abroad.
Yeah, no. So it's just super expensive.
You're not going to go see Linkin Park again for obvious reasons.
Well, you never know. Did you see actually they had like that woman from like Stan Atlantic like did
she that was like Mike Shinoda was doing
thingy.
Like some
Mike Shinoda is always doing
he's doing
shit,
some
man.
things.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, he is a busy guy. But my just fell off my mic. It couldn't have been that important. I'm loose now. What was I saying?
You actually do look kind of loose now. Mike Shinoda.
That'd be really weird if you were just listening to that on the podcast, not watching the video. But yeah, no, he's done loads of shit. But I don't think Linkin Park are going to come back. I know there was that.
Oh, they definitely will, man. They're too big to fail.
Nah.
As we've done some research, which we'll go into this at a later date. But like looking at the biggest bands in the world, Linkin Park are categorically the biggest metal band in the world, according to Spotify.
Would they ruin that legacy by coming back with a different singer? Because for everyone, for most people, Chester was the core of that band.
Well, that's why they're leaving it though. They're leaving an amount of time.
It's been like 7 years.
Yeah, they've got to leave it like 10 years. He deserves that.
Is that the minimum like death requirement for like?
Yeah. I looked it up. Man.
I don't know if I'd want them back. Cause I've seen Linkin Park.
Give it 3 years.
For context, Linkin Park are like my favourite band ever. They're the band that got me into music. I've got a Linkin Park tattoo on my ankle.
It's not a competition, man.
I'd win if it was. You would. And like, so I've seen Linkin Park only twice over the years. Like one in 2010 and once in 2015. And so I would love to see them again, obviously. But I don't think I'd want it about Chester. I think it'd be really weird. I saw...
That's such an NPC response.
Nah. I didn't see... I saw Mike Shinoda do some Linkin Park songs. Like, I know he did them after Chester died, but I saw Mike Shinoda do a Fort Minor show in London, and he did some Linkin Park songs. It was a really cool novelty. Hate it? Nah, it was a cool novelty, but I was like, if you were doing this like as Linkin Park, I don't think that would work. Some people are like, oh, just leave the singing out and let the crowd sing. I feel like that's such like an internet comment thing, like to write.
It sounds great in theory, but like to see that live, it'd be missing something.
Shit, wouldn't it?
Just get a fucking hologram. Just do what they did for Tupac.
Yeah,
I think that would genuinely be
more
quite
insulting.
Cool.
To be fair, though, just go back and watch the DVD, man.
Are we sure he didn't leave something in his will? Just be like, if well, he killed himself, didn't he? Like,
you can have a will and kill yourself.
No. I mean, like, hopefully he left something in his will to be like, look, guys, I'm killing myself, but like 10 years later, you can use me as a hologram.
Yeah, that's what I'd write in my will. If I was content.
But yeah, who knows, man? I think that people are going to demand that though, because they are still the biggest metal band and the 7th or so biggest rock band in the world. Like, you don't just fucking fade away when you're at the top of your game like they are. And I know you have that posthumous effect, but I think Linkin Park is bigger than that. It's like a religion for some people. They're such a huge band that they can't just let it go to the wayside. Like, they've got to they'll make something work, but yeah, I think they'll give him the respect of a decade, and then we'll see holograms coming hologram Bennington.
Yes. They released like the extra music and stuff. I know they're still like be making money off it, and I guess they're like giving some of the proceeds to like Chester's family.
They
stuff.
better.
You hope so.
Yeah.
I think they definitely are. And like Grey Days, do you know about Grey Days? Like,
no,
that was like Chester's first band. They like when he passed away, they did like a they like remixed his vocals and like did like new takes of his like son doing
Linkin
some of the
Park historian here.
Yeah, I told you I'd win the thing.
Yeah,
but
you definitely would.
That album's kind of sick, and that like. I think that's the extent of which I think it'd be acceptable if you can like rework old, like with the Meteora 20th anniversary, like if you bring back old vocal takes and stuff, I think that's better than getting a new vocalist. But that's just my take.
Yeah, no, I see your point.
Yeah,
I disagree, but
yeah, well, we'll see. If a new Linkin Park album comes out in the next like few years, I'll admit I was wrong.
I'm telling you, man, give it 3 years.
But speaking of new albums, the most like relevant new album, I guess, at the moment, the You Bring Me album.
Yeah,
I assume you listened to that.
Yeah,
multiple times.
I haven't actually listened to it that many times, to be honest with you, because. Obviously most of the singles were already released prior, so it hasn't felt like a brand new album.
Okay,
but I've had like Utopia in my head all day actually.
Sick.
Like that's grown on me
Great
a lot.
Song. Weird chorus to like it's an interesting.
Cemetery.
I can't even do that note.
I like at the end where he's like,
but it kind of slaps. That gave me some respect for them when they put that.
You can tell they put a lot of love and care into that one. Like I'm a sucker for a track 1 as well. I'm like, this is what they wanted.
Technically track 2, but yeah.
Is it?
There's
track
like an
1?
intro track.
Huh?
There's an intro track, like a 13-second, like,
fuck that.
which
That
is
doesn't count.
like Linkin Park, like doing Forward on Meteor and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it might even be the same like length, like 13 seconds.
Yeah, I mean,
I
bring me using the Linkin Park blueprint for real.
Big time, big time.
Like especially like their last album before that, Posthuman, had a lot of Linkin Park. Like Teardrops is basically like a Linkin Park song.
Like controversial. I'll get back on to actually talking about the new album, but I didn't like the last album as much. I think this one is a lot better. I think they've really improved on that sound personally. I think they were trying to go down that like new metal, like meets more sort of like hyper pop modern stuff. Yeah, songs like Kingslayer, which did like a bit more like poppy stuff. Yeah, had obviously baby metal on it and that, and then the just straight up new metal rocky stuff. It was cool. I didn't dislike it, but it didn't hit as well as the new stuff. I mean, the newer stuff you've got those more modern elements. You listen to even like I know like the songs that are the most poppy, like Strangers or Lost, or
it's a very like emo Renaissance vibe, isn't it?
But it's still got that modern, like in the breakdown for Lost, for example, you've got that like super cut up like breakdown, like glitchy effects and stuff. You weren't getting that stuff on the last album, so I think they've stepped up.
I disagree a little bit. I think like maybe you say modern, but I think it's more like recency effect as well, because it's like those songs, the Posthuman songs feel a bit older now, and like, you know, you've sat with them a while and you kind of got bored of listening to them. But at the time, like, I was so happy that Bring Me went heavy again. And I actually kind of agree with you to an extent. I think that their latest album is kind of better in some ways, but Posthuman, it had a, like, it was more compact. It was like every song on there is bar like the last one with Evanescence, like is a banger.
There's a song
for me.
of Evanescence.
Not Evanescence, Amy Lee.
I didn't even know that.
The same shit.
There's a song there with Amy Lee.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got that far in the album.
And the reason they got her on there, something, it's like a really long title.
I have no idea.
I can't remember what it's called.
I obviously didn't listen to that.
But yeah, the reason she was on that actually is because with the song Nihilist Blues, her record label, Evanescence record label, tried to sue Bring Me for like a vocal like melody that was too similar to an Evanescence song. Really? And then that's what put them in touch. And they were like, they squashed the beef with like with a collab. And it was the worst song on the album, but
damn.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. But yeah, so on the new album, I'd personally say it's like up there for me in terms of their like discography. I think in the last, since Sempiternal, it's their best album. I know a lot of people really like
I can see that.
I'm so bad with the names. What's the album that came after Sempiternal? The one with True Friends and Doomed and that on it. That's the Spirit.
That's a Spirit.
I asked the question and then remember. Yeah, that's the Spirit. I think a lot of people love that album. A lot of people are like singing that, like really that had to grow on me a lot
because Sempiternal was like, you know, crown jewel. I still would say that's probably my favorite.
Sempiternal, yeah. Okay. It's got like some like really cool stuff on that album, like cool choruses and stuff.
Bold of them to go down like a totally different route after the success of Sempiternal.
Yeah, but for my music taste, I think I sort of lost some of the spark with that, the energy, because it wasn't the heaviness, kind of got lost a lot, and that's why I get what you're saying with the last album,
first like
bringing
rocky
it back.
Album they did.
Yeah, but I think now they've sort of perfected like bringing the heavy stuff with the rock together. I think it's the perfect blend on this new album, and I'd say personally for me, there's like no skips until maybe like the end. There's that, I can't remember the name of it. Once again, I'm terrible with names. The second to last song, the one that was a single. Die For You.
Oh, Die For You. Yeah. I think that was like really cool when it came out, but it didn't have much replayability.
It's too poppy for me.
Yeah.
It's that melody.
That's the thing when you get a really poppy, catchy song. Yeah, it's like amazing the first time you hear it, and then the more times you hear it, it kind of loses that magic a little bit.
True, I did think it was.
And
I do
actually think some of the songs on that album are like that. A little bit, like even like Strangers and Lost for me, like
I really fuck with Strangers and Lost.
Yeah,
they were the two songs that really got me because they like weren't afraid to be like.
I think because I haven't actually been that into like emo, like so the emo Renaissance isn't quite doing it for me. But no, I still think they're great songs. But yeah, I think I disagree with you though. I think I do prefer Posthuman, but I think that you've got to give an album time. Like it is so fresh, so it's hard with like recency bias and then nostalgia. You got to kind of balance them a little bit.
Yeah, interesting. I get what you're saying there. Well, kind of going on from that then, what we were gonna sort of plan on doing like a little like debate section at the end or the last like however long of each episode, so we can kind of like fight over some stuff.
Yeah,
so I know we have really similar tastes in a lot of ways, but we also sort of like contend on the micro details.
Yeah.
So I guess a good first one would be like, what is the best Bring Me album? And not favorite. What is like the best categorically? Music. I think I'm gonna say musically rather than like success. I don't think success is always like we'll measure it based on what we think is the best album in terms of songwriting quality, music, etc., etc. This probably will be your favorite as well, but let's try and like do it from that framework. What's your album? You said a minute ago, Sempiternal.
So Sempiternal is my favorite, but I don't actually think it's their best.
Okay.
I think it's up there, and I think that they pitch that sound perfectly, but I believe that Bring Me are one of those rare bands that just get better and better and better. Because they're always pushing themselves. They don't get comfortable. They tried hip hop. They're trying like hyper pop. They're getting weird collabs. They're always pushing the bar, and they're not dropping the ball. So I'd say maybe their latest album is debatably their best album because it's so ambitious. And with every album, I think they have got gradually better. Maybe there's an exception to that rule. Like I think Ammo is an amazing album, but that was a little bit of a drop off for me. But I think it's just because like stylistically, I don't listen to Bring Me for pop.
Yeah,
I listen to them for like I'm a Bring Me loyalist. I've listened to them since like Count Your Blessings.
Yeah,
but
their best album, Count Your Blessings.
Which leads me to their best album is their EP Ari the Heavenly Reflections.
Which everyone would unanimously agree on.
Yeah, I honestly, I would say their best album is their latest album because it's just so expansive and ambitious, and I know it's probably recency bias, but they're just doing so much more with like their songwriting and like how many genres they're fusing, and they're like sprinkling in a little bit of everything along the way. But if you're asking me my favorite, then it will probably be Sempiternal for nostalgia and how amazing that album made me feel when it came out.
Interesting.
But yeah, I will say it's not as good as their later last few albums, I think.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'd probably be in a similar boat to you, where I'd say like musically, maybe the latest album was the best one. I'm like such a sucker for There Is a Hell.
So boring we agree.
Yeah, I know, right? We put up the worst one to start with.
Yeah, you love There Is a Hell. I wasn't massive on that album.
Okay, that's what we're going to
Let's debate about that.
All right. All right, There Is a Hell is the best Bring Me the Horizon by far. In my mind, for me, I think I can look at it two ways.
It's your favourite one?
I can look at it objectively and subjectively. I think like objectively in a mass like sense, like the latest album is probably their best work. I think for my money and what I value in music, I think There's a Hell is their best written piece of work. Wow. I think it's very original. It hits such an emotional like chord, and it's quite, I think there's originality in their latest album, but it's originality of combining genres, where I feel like There Is a Hell is originality and becoming sort of its own thing. I think the vocal performances are fantastic. I prefer screaming over singing in like most cases like that as well.
I actually disagree. I don't think the vocal performances are fantastic.
But that's what makes them good. I feel like his vocals are like kind of quote unquote bad, but like they suit it really well. It makes it really raw. Whereas the latest album, he's like dripping. Ollie Sykes can now sing and scream, but it's like dripping with production. Like you listen to like Strangers, like when it tails off and it's like it's
definitely their rawest album, isn't it? Because even Suicide Season, like it has a bit more of a produced sound, doesn't it? It's more kind of like even kill, whereas There Is a Hell is just like raw.
And they get involved with more synths and stuff, but like as a tasteful addition, not like overpowering.
That's when they first started to really. They were
stuff
playing
like
around
It Never
with
Ends with like the choir noises between the break. Oh man, it's just sick. I listened to that.
Skrillex produced some of the album as well, and he's got a vocal feature.
Lights is on it.
Yeah, Skrillex sings in Visions.
Does he?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's cool. It has the word cunt in it in Blacklist, which is cool.
I do like the
rarity
album,
for
but
British
I will say that I think if you're being very critical of Bring Me, that is a rare album where they slightly missed the mark a little bit. in terms of like, I think that they experimented with like melodic hardcore, and to me it just sounds like didn't quite work.
And it was sick.
It worked for some songs, but I don't know.
All right, name a song it didn't work for.
So I think It Never Ends. Like,
fuck off!
I think
it's like the best song on the album.
That's not like it's not single worthy to me. And even Bless of a Curse as well. Like, it's just like those raw vocals. It was like, I am being like purposefully critical here.
Purposely wrong.
But like, the vocals just sound so raw. It's like you don't want to hear that in a chorus.
I like how he has like his like sort of like accent, like lisp sort of thing comes through.
Yeah.
Or like Bless of a Curse especially.
Yeah.
It's like ever since this began. Whatever he does it.
I think it sounds really goofy, and I don't actually think it's aged very well. I think it's actually probably their worst album.
That's just wrong. So I think maybe I got some nostalgia goggles on for it, but I appreciate
what they did. I think they experimented.
Some of the riffs, man.
Yeah, some of the riffs.
Alligator
are cool.
Blood.
Alligator Blood is a banger. I do like Alligator Blood.
Anthem is literally an anthem.
It's not amazing.
It Never Ends is one of the best songs they've ever released. So I don't know.
You know what? I will have another listen to that song.
Please
but like,
do.
I just remember when that single came out. Even at the time, I was a bit disappointed.
That's interesting.
But yeah, no, I think they don't have a bad album, like, don't get me wrong, but if you're being super critical, I think there's an argument there that I would make that it's probably one of their worst albums, just like if you're looking at their best to worst albums.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're wrong.
Sorry, man.
You're wrong, but it makes sense. Well, all right, okay. Well, we've ended on sort of a disagreement note, which I'm glad we did.
Yeah.
Next time we'll try and disagree with you more.
Yeah,
I feel like I'll try and pick something a bit more like out there.
We ended on a really sour note there.
Yeah, we sort of fell into the agreement. No, I don't accept your apology. Go listen to It Never Ends and come back to me, and then we'll be good.
Okay.
Right. I want to hear from everyone. What is the best Bring Me the Horizon album, and why is it There Is a Hell? But like legit, I want to know what people think, because I think it's really like not contentious, but I think they have such a wide like music variety. I think everyone has a different favorite. I think less and less people will now have the older albums as favorites, just like because more people are into them from now, and like nostalgia sort of wears thin. I might be being biased there, but I quite like being biased, so I'm going to stick with that.
It's good to be biased.
But yeah, I think for a first episode, that was pretty decent.
I think that'll do it.
Had some laughs.
Yeah.
We talked some shit. We didn't argue as much as I wanted us to argue, but
we'll turn up the arguing next time.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I mean, for now, thanks for joining us in the Metal Lounge, and look forward to seeing the next one.
Peace.